Join us today on Straight Talk 1400 is Sarah Lonis, and she works for Big River Nursing and Rehab, but that's not what we're going to be talking about exactly. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm good. How are you?
You and your husband, former Marine, was in the Marines for 8 years. I guess you're always a Marine once you're a Marine. Live in Peebly, is that right?
Yes, we do.
And he's in law enforcement now, but that's not really what we're going to talk about either. We're going to be talking about a beautiful baby boy named Michael, 3 months old.
Yes.
Wow. How long have you guys been married?
We got married May 30th of 2015.
So you're still newlyweds in my book.
We are. We were very lucky to get pregnant quickly. We were so excited.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I've seen your Facebook page. Just a wonderful looking child. But
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah, absolutely. But Michael has a medical issue.
He does.
So what is that? Tell me, kind of walk me through it. Obviously, I mean, you give birth to a baby boy, you're counting fingers and toes, right? And you're like,
yes.
Hey, we got 10, life is good.
Right.
Tell me what happened.
Well, everything. I had the easiest pregnancy, actually. No morning sickness, no problems whatsoever. Normal checkups, ultrasounds were great. At 28 weeks, I had an ultrasound. And that's when we discovered that I had critically low amniotic fluid. So the high-risk OB-GYNs at Mercy St. Louis had then told us that, it was very likely that there were major kidney issues. They didn't think he had any kidney function or little to none. So at that point, I was admitted to the antepartum unit there, and I stayed there for 60 days until Michael was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I mean, you could be a perfectly healthy individual. They could take me right now and put me in a hospital for 60 days, and I would be nuts. I mean, I'm serious. It was
hard.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
But you gave birth to Michael.
Yes.
Who's, again, as we mentioned, 3 months old today or right now, and so what issue were they right as far as Michael and his concerns?
They were. So he was diagnosed after he was born. They could not diagnose him before, but he was diagnosed with hypoplastic kidneys. So essentially, he has two, but they are smaller and underdeveloped.
Okay.
He can produce urine, but he cannot filter out waste.
Oh, my.
So he's been on dialysis for most of his stay at Cardinal Glennon, and we are getting close to the point that he'll be at a high enough volume that he'll be able to come home, and we will do peritoneal dialysis at night.
Okay. Wow. There's so many things here. First, let me ask about amniotic fluid or whatever. I didn't know you could have more of it or less of it. Is that common? Is that uncommon?
I didn't know a lot about it myself. But apparently when you are in your third trimester, the amniotic fluid is what the babies essentially drink.
Yeah,
and it helps them expand their lungs so that they are fully functioning, and then they pass it as they would if it was urine. Although it's not urine because there's no waste in it, the mother filters all the waste out with the placenta.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the cycle with that. And with having low fluid, they said it's very likely he has little to no urine production.
Okay. All right. No, I've heard of preemies who have lung problems. I didn't know, so that's what I relate to that. But, once you get in the third trimester, those are the kind of issues you're looking for. I didn't know anything about the kidneys and their development, so this is all new to me.
We had not either, so this was all new to us. We learned a lot.
First off, great to bring Michael home, right? I mean, that's got to be a thrill. I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
We are so ready to do that. Between my hospitalization and his, our family's essentially been separated since February 18th.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's there's no easy way to get around that. Somebody's got to work, somebody's got to be with the child. I'm sure a lot of times where you live in Peebly, there's nobody's home, everybody's doing something, right?
Right.
So that'll be awesome. So what's the long-term prognosis for Michael? Can he continue to do dialysis, or eventually what happens?
He will be on dialysis until he gets a kidney transplant. And he has to be 18 pounds to start working up for transplant, doing all the testing that they have to do beforehand. And when he's 22 pounds, he can be officially listed. The very neat thing for Michael is he will have a live donor kidney. So literally anyone can, when we get to the point, contact St. Louis University Hospital or Cardinal Glennon to request to be tested to be his donor. And that's how he will get his. So it's a very neat thing. His donor will know him. He will know his donor.
All right. I'm a little confused because I figure my kidneys are probably a little bit bigger than his. So
yes. So babies do get adult kidneys.
Oh, do they?
They do, and that is why they have to be a certain size. Wow!
Again, all new to me. This is fascinating.
It's very fascinating, and we've learned so much, and it's been very enlightening.
Well, let me tell you something, Sarah. I am I'm over 50 years old. I just and I have a son who's entering high school. And I think back, and he was a healthy kid for the most part, some asthma issues, stuff like that. When I look back as far as like caring for him when he was sick and all this other kind of stuff, when my wife and I look back, it's like, how did we do that? How did we go with no sleep? How did we do it? And you don't think about it at the time. You just do it, right?
Right.
You just soldier on and do what needs to be done. Now, transplants, they're not cheap. And if insurance covers any of it, it would be a small portion, right?
Yes. We're not sure exactly what our cost for his transplant will be at this time. We will eventually find all that out. But it's ongoing for his lifetime. He will be on anti-rejection meds his entire life as well.
So are you raising money for this? Is now the time to start thinking about that?
We are. We were connected with a wonderful, wonderful non-for-profit organization, the Children's Organ Transplant Association, or CODA, is how we go by, and they accepted Michael into their program, and they assist us with fundraising to raise money for him that is only used for his medical expenses and can be used for his lifetime. So he can use them, we can use them now to cover the cost of his transplant. If he has funds left over, if he needs it when he's 30, he can access those funds, anything related to his transplant.
So you're actually, the way this works is people give to this organization, CODA, like in his name or something.
Correct.
That money's set aside for him. And
correct.
If for some reason, they exceed whatever the cost, $50,000 or whatever the cost is for the transplant, that can be used for, like you said, anti-rejection medications and things like that.
Yes.
I think that's...
He will have access to that money his entire life for transplant medical expenses.
And 100% of the donations go to Michael, right?
100%.
Which is great. What a great organization. I don't know who...
It's amazing. They are such wonderful people. They really are, and they truly do care about all of their families and what they do, and the hope that they bring is just, it's indescribable.
So how many pounds is Michael now, and when do you expect him to get to that 22-pound level?
Well, we aren't sure when he'll get to the 22 pounds. He's almost 14 pounds now. So we're getting close to the 18 when we can start doing all his workups. It really just kind of depends on him and his growing.
Right. But within a year, right?
Yes, definitely. we're hoping for about a year old when he would get his transplant.
Wow.
Yeah.
How exciting. Saw a little video of Michael. What a happy baby. What a happy baby. He's just,
He's so happy. He loves smiling, and, he tries talking to everybody, and, he loves his nurses and his doctors come in, and he gives them big smiles. He is the happiest baby. He's so fun to be around.
If you didn't know, right? No, you'd have no idea.
Right. You wouldn't. He does not, he has a feeding tube in his nose because he does not eat well, and that's something that goes along with kidney failure. So we have to give most of his bottles through that. But other than that, no, he's completely healthy, developmentally on track, 3-month-old baby.
Well, it just looks alert to me, like
yes.
Hey, Mom, I know exactly what's going on here, so don't worry about
it. Exactly. He does.
So how do people get to this organization for Michael Lonis, and how do they market? What do they do?
So Michael has a Facebook page also. It's called Michael's Journey. And there is a link on that page to his CODA donation page.
Okay.
And it's coda.donorpages.com/patient online donation /CODA for Michael Logan L.
Okay. Again, and this is the Children's Organ Transplant Association. And we'll put together some links and stuff like that. So, when we do a news story, I'll put it out on mymoinfo.com and I have a link there as well. We'll try and hook that page up to our KJFF Facebook page and the like. So try and make it easy for folks. But
that would be so wonderful.
Oh,
thank you.
No, you bet. The whole area. Part of what I love about living in Jefferson County is we are a community, and I've seen a lot of people help a lot of other people, and a lot of times the help comes from a stranger you may never know. And
I know.
And that is just fantastic.
We have been so overwhelmed with the outpouring of support and prayers for this little guy. And, he's been fighting since, essentially before he was born. And he continues to amaze us every day. He continues to surprise doctors every day with how well he's doing. And that right there just shows us that all of these prayers are working.
Well, we will. Maybe you'll come in a month or so and get us updated on Michael's condition. And,
we would love to.
Yeah. Best of luck to not only your husband Sean and you, but to Michael and the family of caring that you're feeling. I guess to everyone out there.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, Sarah.
No, thank you.
I appreciate it. There you go. Sarah Lonis talking about her son, Michael Lonis, who one day will get a kidney transplant. You're listening to Straight Talk 1400.